Welcome to the Halo Outreach Podcast, where we reach out to you, the Halo community, to keep you up to date on everything that's going on in the Halo universe. What is going on, everybody? Your boy Patman here with episode number 29 of the Halo Outreach Podcast. And as you could see over there, that's not Kevin. This is my friend Arrash. Say hello.
Hello. How's it going?
He is a very underrated Halo content creator, in my opinion. A streamer, YouTube content creator. We'll get to where you guys can find his content later on in the podcast. But if you guys didn't know, Kevin is too busy for us and having a great time at DreamHack Anaheim right now. So he's watching the Halo sweats get it on. And, Kevin's trying to pick up some tips because he is the world's sweatiest platinum player. So we have a jam-packed episode. A lot to talk about. Halo Infinite toys that have been announced, including Nerf having a partnership and the Mega Constructs toys being announced. So we're going to deep dive into that and see what we can basically decipher for Halo Infinite by looking at these toys, if anything. There is a major Halo Infinite eSports announcement, and in case you guys haven't heard, Halo CE Anniversary is having a PC flight right now as we speak until the 24th, and we're going to go ahead and deep dive into that because there's a lot to talk about there, and we will also get to know Arrash a little bit so you guys can get to know the man behind the beard. And after that, we'll just do our Halo 5 and MCC playlist updates, and then we'll end the show. But first, Arrash, how's your week been, bro? How you doing? What have you been playing?
Dude, it's been good, man. As you know, I'm still a little sad that 343 doesn't send me flight invites, but besides that, it's been good. I've been playing. I've been playing a little bit of Reach here and there, but I won't lie. Since I mostly play on PCs, only having Reach, I'm not like totally burnt out of it yet, but I've been playing a little Apex here and there kind of to switch it up, and the new season, and that's pretty fun.
Yeah. I've seen that. It's I've played a couple matches of Apex. It's definitely, you need a break from Reach, dude. Reach is
yes.
So
you can only take so much Reach.
Exactly, and I can only take so much CE. We'll get into that later.
Yeah.
But as far as me, just I haven't been playing much. Been playing some Dark Souls 3 with my buddy Rapscallion. Hopefully play some more of that tonight. But I need to get back on that Halo 5 grind. We'll talk about the playlist later for Halo 5, guys, but not a good couple of weeks coming up, in my opinion. Unless you're like, you like social game types and like, casual game types, then these next couple of weeks would be great for you guys. But let's get into the first bit of news. The Halo Infinite toys that have gotten announced. So first things first, we have the Nerf Blasters that have basically been announced. They showed off 3 of them, one being the assault rifle, another one being a needler, and then I guess I'll call it a pocket spanker launcher. It's like a weird Magnum spanker combo.
I was gonna ask about that because looking at it, it's weird. Is it a handheld thing? Because I was like, at first I thought it was the full rocket launcher, but then you kind of look at it and you're like, that looks more of like a pistol. It's a weird looking little thing.
Yeah, it is very weird. We'll show it here on screen, but we have this weird looking color scheme here for the assault rifle. It actually comes with a code for Halo Infinite. You guys will get a code to get that skin in game, which is kind of cool. And then, as my wife called it, and I memed it, the Kit Kat bar color scheme for the spanker. And then we have the needler, and they called it like a pocket series or something like that. So maybe that's why it looks like that, I guess. As far as the spanker and the needler, they kind of look compact, and obviously you can't just. How would you do a rocket? I don't know why they chose the rocket launcher. So many other weapons you could have chose, but.
That's a weird weapon to pick as a Nerf gun, because it would, if you made a full size one, dudes would just be running around with a ginormous thing. But
that'd actually be kind of badass.
I know they've done things like this with other games before. Like, I think Fortnite and Overwatch have done this, and they've done the micro or the mini or handheld series. So it's not the first time they've done it. I don't know if I necessarily love that. Is the assault rifle full size, or is that one small too?
No, that is full size. Yeah, the assault rifle
Okay,
actually costs more than, I think the assault rifle is announced at like $50, and the other two were like $10.
That makes sense.
Yeah,
that's not a bad price though. $10 for a mini one, like that's not a bad deal.
Yeah, not
but
bad.
I bet that assault rifle for like cosplayers and stuff, I feel like that'll end up being pretty cool if they can just paint it black or something, and then they'll have an accurate AR model that they don't have to try and make themselves. I feel like that'll be kind of cool for them.
Yeah, and I like the Reach design. It's the good old Halo Reach AR design for Infinite, as we saw in the Discover Hope trailer. So big fan of that design, and a lot of Reach designs, actually. That's one thing I do like about Reach, is a lot of the weapon designs. And we'll get into more on some Reach stuff coming up soon. But they also announced these basically mega construct figures for Halo Infinite, including the Warthog here that you guys will see, the Pelican, which looks badass, and also little teeny mongoose there, which seems to be a common theme, honestly, with the Halo Infinite like toy line. Like the mongoose looks really small. They even got like boats and stuff. We'll show you guys that later. But any opinions on these mega construct figures?
No, I think those are super cool, and they've done series with them in the past, I think, haven't they?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I think those are super cool. I mean, I don't necessarily buy a ton of stuff like that, but I could see buying one of those Warthogs and just putting it together once and sticking it on my desk just as a decoration.
Yeah, same. I usually don't buy stuff like that, but I might get that Pelican. That Pelican kind of looks bad.
Yeah, the Pelican's pretty cool. And then, so I may have read this wrong. I thought they were like 2-in-1 sets. Like the Warthog also turned into some type of boat.
I think it does. Yeah. I think it does.
Yeah.
I don't know what the Pelican turns into, if it does turn into anything, but yeah, I think that's what the Warthog did, because it looks like a Warthog boat kind of hybrid thing. But,
yeah. So that's kind of cool.
Yeah, pretty cool. And then in New York today, they actually released a whole line of Halo Infinite toys, and we'll show you guys here. This stuff is kind of interesting. So let's get into this. The Halo Infinite line here, we have some sweet looking Chief helmet. They even have like a Carter helmet, and then Sarah Palmer, which will probably be the worst selling one because I don't think anybody likes Sarah Palmer. Very cool stuff, and we actually get some close-ups on some of this, and I kind of want to get some opinions on it. Energy Sword looking badass, as always. Now this is where I really wanted to focus on first. First of all, this Marine is fucked. Like his neck, I don't like that.
Why does that look so weird?
Like, how did that make it? Like, even in the picture right there, it's like that is not cool, dude. Just but the grunt is pretty cool. The grunt looks like a mix between the 343 design and the Bungie design. Like, it has the 343 feet and hands, the weird looking, like it's clobbering time kind of look to it, and then the mask and the suit and the methane gas chamber and all that all look like the Bungie design. So I give the Patman seal of approval for that grunt design. I think that's pretty good looking.
The grunt definitely looks pretty cool. The Marine, on the other hand, leaves a little bit to be desired.
We got some sweet looking images of Chief here with a spanker in hand, so that's comforting to know that the spanker design should be coming back. Like, I don't really know what to think about all these designs. Like, I don't think it confirms anything in Infinite, because we've seen stuff in the past that is toys from Halo games that officially licensed, like Halo 5 stuff that just never made it into game, like Poncho Chief, So I don't know how much to play into it, but nonetheless, very cool stuff. The Jackal is also like a classic design. What's up?
Oh, I was gonna say, and I could see Infinite doing a lot of the same stuff Halo 5 did too, where it might have, your regular assault rifle that looks like the Halo Reach assault rifle, but who knows, down the line they might add in an assault rifle that looks like the Halo 5 assault rifle or something like that, and they might roll out toys that look like that too to go with it. So I could see them doing all sorts of different stuff with the way things look and the different influences that they take.
Look at that sexy BR. I figured it's time for me to announce, guys, that I am an action figure for Halo Infinite. Look, that's me, guys. That's I'm Brohammer. So
I don't know about that.
My buddy Raps texted me. He's like, "Pat, is that you?" I was like, "Oh God." This fucking Jackal Sniper can eat shit and die already. I can't stand Jackal Snipers.
Oh my God, playing through like Halo 3 on Legendary, those things made me want to break a TV.
Dude, Halo 2 on Legendary. Try that with those freaking things. Chief looking just beautiful here. I like this figure a lot. A lot of nice detail and stuff. Might pick one of these up. Yeah, I'm gonna get the Marine. Screw it.
Have they given prices out at all on this stuff? Or is
I haven't looked up the pricing yet.
Okay.
This stuff is just like fresh. Just got announced today.
Yeah.
Now this is kind of what I wanted to focus on next because we have a bunch of close-ups of these guys right here. Very Reach inspired. Like we know Infinite's going to feature Reach style customization. They've already confirmed that. Getting a very Noble Six Lone Wolf kind of vibe, especially with that piece on top of the helmet there, and from that angle, even like the knee pads, and you get like a classic Halo 3 vibe right there on the thighs. But it looks like everything, each piece is customizable, almost like Halo Reach, where you got shoulder pads, and you'll see later on they got different shoulder pads, different knee pads, things like that. So hopefully that means when they said Reach style customization that we're going to have more control over the things that we can customize instead of like the preset stuff in Halo 5 where it's all, one set. Warthog and the treads in them tires looking beautiful as always. Big fan of that design. And then they'll give a couple of more close-up stuff. They got that helmet there that Kevin was mentioning in the chat there, which I don't know. Does it come with like a voice changer or something? That would be pretty dope.
Oh, really?
I don't know. I don't know if it does, but it says premium helmet. So I don't know what the hell makes it premium. But, you've seen like those Optimus Prime ones and stuff like that. And then, more close-ups of these Halo Infinite Spartans, and like I said here, look at that. That's right out of Reach. Those knee pads
for sure. Yeah.
Black undersuits were confirmed for Infinite as well. Got that red there, beautiful. I like the helmet design is really cool, really cool. Cat confirmed coming back for Infinite. Cat and Carter. Yep, they're still in the cave with Noble Six. And then later on, we got Tanaka there, so maybe Fireteam Osiris coming back. We'll see. Which, with obviously her Halo 5 design, I was wondering if they're going to redesign. If those characters did come back, I was wondering if they would redesign their looks at all. We'll have to just wait and see. Like I said, it's hard to tell with action figures what they're looking to do. And then here, this is what I wanted. This guy's got a neck problem too, poor guy.
Oh my God.
But is this the Hydra? It looks like a redesigned Hydra, maybe?
It has to be, right?
Yeah.
Or some type of new weapon, but I doubt they would leak new weapons on toys.
Right. I can't stand the Hydra. One of my... I would give that the chopping block if I could. I did not like that weapon in Halo 5. I feel like it's cheap. But there's another look at it right there.
It definitely wasn't my favorite.
Yeah. And then this was just like the reveal of them just showing that. But all in all, pretty cool stuff, I would say. I think, we could gather some information from this. But like I said, I wouldn't play too much into what could be an Infinite, what could not. We'll have to wait and see. Obviously, we're just starving for information at this point where we're dissecting fucking pieces of plastic instead of, dissecting gameplay trailers and things like that. So we'll have to wait and see, when 343 decides to, go ahead and reveal something. There actually was a new rumor that Xbox Series X was getting a full reveal in April at its own event. So maybe
okay.
we see something in April, which would, my birthday's in April, would be a sweet, sweet birthday present, 343.
That would be.
Yes, if we can get some new Infinite news. But what do you think, all in all, about the toys and what they could mean for Infinite? You got anything else to really add about that?
I mean, not really. They're cool. At the end of the day, though, they are just toys, and you could probably find, like you were saying, countless examples where something looked like this in a toy, but the game ended up looking nothing like that. So,
Right.
The reason they're cool toys to be excited about if you like Halo collectibles and stuff like that. But in terms of actual like Infinite news, I mean, there's not a whole lot there. We are just so starved that we're looking at these going, hey, this is the news we're getting, I guess.
One could say it's a stretch, like that Marine's neck.
Yeah. Good one.
Thank you. Moving on to the next topic, then we have a big Halo Infinite esports announcement. So Tashi recently sent out a tweet and made an announcement video that Halo esports, Infinite esports, would be partnering with eSports Engine, which is huge news for the Halo Infinite competitive scene. Very prominent people inside of the esports scene. They're basically going to be, I guess their official title is Global Management Partner, and they're going to basically help with the very, what's the best word I'm looking for? What's the word I'm looking for? It's very robust what they're trying to do with Halo Infinite. They're trying to do a 12-month roadmap and have everything out there. Very ballsy on them, because I don't think that's really been done before. Having a full 12-month roadmap and having, all right, this is going to be at this date, setting it all in stone and making that come to fruition. And we all thought that would be a huge undertaking for 343. We were wondering how the hell they're going to pull that off, especially with how things have been lately with esports and the complaints from the fans about being left in the dark. But this is huge news, and you're more into the esports scene than I am, and you were kind of excited about this, right?
Yeah, this is super cool. So I don't know how much you know about eSports Engine, but their CEO is Adam Apicella, and who he worked for MLG, and I can't remember his exact title when he was at MLG, but he was there for years, and they made their start in Halo. I think Halo, all the way back in Halo CE. I think it might have been Halo 2, but so it's really cool to have an outside company like this come in that's actually passionate about Halo, because I think they could have found countless companies that would have came in and said they'd run the esports for Halo Infinite that didn't actually really care about Halo itself. They just wanted a check for running an esports program, And so I think on that end, it's really cool. But I also think, like you were kind of mentioning, it'll be really good for 343 to have some help, because there have definitely been complaints on the esports side, just the way that 343 has handled it in recent years. And honestly, really, since they kind of got into the door, not that Bungie ever did amazing things with esports, since it was mostly third party back then. But I've seen a lot of complaints, especially lately, about the way that esports have been going on the Halo front. So it's cool to see that they do have a plan in place. And right now we just kind of got to wait and see what they end up doing once Infinite comes out. Because, I mean, anytime that, even if me and you don't ever plan on competing in Halo esports, having a huge esport is a huge population boost just for the whole game as a whole. So I love watching Halo. So I do really hope it ends up being successful, because watching some of the Halo tournaments now and just seeing the viewership they get, it's a little depressing.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's going to be obviously a major. I mean, Halo 5 did have a major focus on esports. That game was like built from the ground up as a sweaty competitive shooter. But the vision, I don't think, was just the vision was more. It kind of they took a bigger bite than they could chew with Halo 5, I think, and they're looking to really, set things right with Infinite, and they seem to have a big, they're investing a lot of money and a lot of resources into esports. So that might worry some people because some people think Halo 5 was like too tailored towards esports, but it's a good thing. Like it's like you said, for the longevity of the game, for the popularity of the game, it's going to be a huge factor. And esports is getting bigger and bigger, like fast. Like it's taking over. So it's I don't personally watch a lot of competitive kind of tournaments, but if I do, it's going to be Halo because it is really fun to watch. Like them dudes are crazy good. So that's a really cool announcement. Yeah, and I like you said, he has MLG roots, and I'm pretty sure they go all the way back to CE. Is what they mentioned. So definitely something keeping in mind that 343. Despite what some people think that 343 hates Halo and they're trying to ruin the series intentionally for whatever reason, they're all fans of Halo at 343. Like they're all passionate about Halo. So bringing in a partner that is as passionate about Halo as they are, in my opinion, can only be a good thing. So when you're passionate about something, when you love what you're doing, when you look forward to it, then it shows in your work. So I'm excited to see what they do with Infinite. And that's about it. That's all I got to say on that. Let's get into the big topic of CEA flight. And everybody get your violins out for Arrash because poor man has not got into a single freaking... I even messaged a couple 343 employees. They're like, dude, can I get an extra key? Yeah, just to see if I could get one for you. And nobody's sitting there like, no, sorry. They sent out 150,000 invites. How the hell have you not got in? It's insane.
I don't know. I wish, and I understand why they don't respond to me because they probably get a bajillion messages. I just wish someone would say like, your account is set up correctly. You just aren't lucky.
Just confirm. Yeah.
Because I always wonder like, what if I put something in wrong, or maybe I'm like getting the emails, but they're just not showing up in my regular folder or my junk folder for some reason. But whatever, I guess. At this point, I'll probably wait until it rolls out to the public, just like I did Reach. So
yeah, maybe they're just saving their invites for Halo 2 and 3, like the good Halos for you.
I wouldn't be sad. I mean, I am sad now, but if I got flight invites to 2 and 3, I'd be very happy again. And I really hope when they start rolling out like infinite flights or infinite betas, I really hope I get into those.
Oh yeah, dude, that's gonna be rough.
It kind of stinks, and I'm not going to complain about it too much, but it stinks when you see like all your friends and all the YouTubers that you watch and all the streamers you watch, and they're all making content on or the Reach flight back like a few months ago or the CE flight now, and you're just like, well, can't do that, so I guess I'll just sit here and wait.
Yeah, it is. It's hard, dude. I understand. It's not fun. Here's hoping for you. We'll get into the flight. I fortunately got in, even though I am not that big of a fan of CE, honestly. Love the campaign though. So I've been playing mostly campaign, and they actually went out with an update, build 1.1367. So if you guys don't have that build, it'll be like in the bottom right corner. It will say the build as part of the flight. It's like a watermark on your screen. If you're not upgraded or updated to that, you need to update your game. But they made several changes, including a couple really good ones. So originally, this flight had some Reach content and Halo CE Anniversary. So Reach, they added the basically the crouch while moving feature, which felt really good. I could not get a match of Reach in the flight to test it out in multiplayer, but I went into campaign and tested it, and it felt really good. I prefer this style. I know Kevin said he does not like it where you could just spam crouch, kind of like Halo 5, but I prefer Halo 5's like crouch movement system. I like having that dynamic in strafe battles and stuff like that. But they added that, and basically as far as CE goes, they fixed a bunch of just minor bugs and stuff. There was a big zoom glitch where when you clicked in your zoom button on your mouse, it wouldn't work, and you had to remap your button. And then when you remapped your button, then the vehicle function that you had to remap wouldn't work. So they also added where you could actually zoom in with the right mouse click it again to zoom in again, like with the sniper, and then click it again if you'd like to zoom out, which was not possible before. You could actually just use the Z button to do your zoom. So that's very good. They actually added like a way to customize the 3 different types of zoom. You could customize your zoom out, your zoom in, and then the regular zoom button. So adding that kind of customization. They also said they'd like to do that. They're looking to do that for the future MCC titles right away instead of having to, flight that out. Just to be clear, this is part of the flight. This isn't in the current build of Reach on PC or anything like that. So that will have to come later via a patch. But besides that, there were some minor bugs. There were some audio glitches that I experienced. Nothing too crazy. They said something about a ghost bug fix that is not going to make it into the flight, but it has been fixed internally already because obviously the flight is an old build. No idea what that is, but it sounds interesting. So all in all, like after they fixed that zoom glitch, like I feel like Halo CE Anniversary plays a crap ton better than Reach. It feels a lot more intuitive with the mouse and keyboard. I could actually get a singular kill instead of Reach, where I would not get a single kill with mouse and keyboard. So there's that. They actually just added also to doubles because they had ranked doubles throughout the flight. Originally, when the flight came out, it had, like Halo CEA has, Bloom, whatever you want to call it, spread on the Magnum. Now they added zero spread to the Magnum as part of an update. So kind of like you said earlier when we were talking before the show, like a hardcore settings like you would think of with Reach with zero Bloom. It is, no spread on the Magnum, so it's a freaking laser, and I have no interest in trying that. I have no interest in, facing PC players with a mouse and keyboard. A mouse with the Halo CE Magnum is it's god tier. It's insane. So I had like one good match where I actually got what is it called in Halo 1? It's not a killing frenzy like it is in Halo 5, a 10 kill streak. I can't remember.
Oh, I don't know.
I can't remember. Whatever it's called in Halo CE. But I got a 10 kill streak. I was like, I could actually play this game. So like in my opinion, it runs a lot better than Reach did, especially for the first flight. I can honestly see them just doing this flight and being done and getting ready for full release, if you ask me. So I would look forward to CE maybe in a month or so, I would say. Maybe by the end of March, we might be able to get the build out to the public. That would be awesome. Kevin looks different. But yeah, besides that, there really isn't much to talk about, because obviously you can't really add much. But have you watched any like gameplay videos? Have any opinions on the?
I've been watching it a good bit. I mean, it looks pretty good, and everyone that I talk to, from like the mouse and keyboard side of things, say that it, like you were mentioning, that it plays a lot better than Reach does, and I think that's huge because there were so many people that I tried to get into Halo with Halo Reach on PC that came in and they just didn't like the way it controlled on mouse and keyboard, and not. I know most Halo players just pick their controller back up, right? Yep. But all these people that were coming from games that weren't Halo before, that were PC gamers, they're not going to pick up a controller. These are people that play every other game on mouse and keyboard. Right. So if Halo isn't going to feel good on a mouse and keyboard, they're just going to go back and play what they were playing before. So I think it's really good to hear that mouse and keyboard is feeling a lot better in CE. And then I wanted to touch on. You were saying that Kevin didn't really like the being able to instantly crouch in Halo Reach. Mm-hmm. So that's another thing with mouse and keyboard that felt terrible, not being able to crouch when you were moving. So I think even if controller players might think that feels a little funky just because it ends up playing more like Halo 5 where you can just instantly crouch all the time. Being able to actually crouch when you play on a mouse and keyboard while you're moving at all, that's a big deal. I think that'll go a long way. Those little things like that, those little quality of life things will go a long way to retaining people on PC, which I think it's a huge market that Halo needs to make a presence in if it wants to be the huge game that it used to be.
Yeah. In Kevin's defense, he did say that needed to be fixed with mouse and keyboard. He was more referring to the controller input because he likes the skill kind of like you have to really time it with a controller. It's like in between your input, like, if you're strafing, like in between that left to right strafe, you have to time your crouch right.
Yeah.
I'm not that good of a player. My timing on everything in life is horrible. So I'm an automatic hater of stuff like that. I want it easier for me. I like Halo 5 system. So personally for me, I liked that. But yeah, mouse and keyboard, as soon as you press like W, you can crouch. It feels really good. So
that's good.
Yeah, that's a good thing for the mouse and keyboard players. I absolutely understand what you're saying about the frustration. I'm one of those people, and people call me cancer for it, but I plug my damn controller in. I can't do it, dude. Like Halo's so. I mean, I don't know if it's just 15 years of playing this game with a controller embedded into my mind, but like CS:GO, I didn't have a problem just playing with a mouse and keyboard, even though I don't play PC much. Like I play that game, pick it up, play it fine. Apex, I did have some problems with. Usually, I have to use a controller for that game, so I guess it depends on the game for me, but. I really do want to try to get better with mouse and keyboard. We'll have to keep chugging at it.
Yeah.
But I can't imagine a game like Halo 5, honestly, with mouse and keyboard, how fast that game plays and all the movement with it. It's got to be insane. Like it probably too much brain power for me.
On Halo 5 Forge, the mouse input is unbelievably messed up.
Yeah, it's terrible. So I've tried it.
I think with good mouse input, all right, if we back up a little bit, I think if they had properly released Halo 5 on PC with actually good mouse and keyboard controls, I think it would have been a successful game on PC. I think the high speed kind of twitchy gameplay works really well in theory on a mouse and keyboard, but obviously when your mouse and keyboard controls are atrocious, then it doesn't work. But yeah, when I play Halo 5 on PC, I plug in a controller. And lately I've actually been playing Reach with a controller too, just because I like it. I'm mostly a mouse and keyboard player, but it's just you're fighting the controls in Reach, and sometimes it's just frustrating.
Yeah, and I wondered, like, I don't know if it plays a factor into it, like Reach plays faster than a game like CE just because sprint and stuff, like it feel, and the armor abilities, the traversal of the maps and stuff, where CE is more tactical and you could kind of sit back with the Magnum and just snipe people with, the wide, like hang them high and stuff like that. So to me, like I said, CE felt better, but I don't know if that's it. It's because the game is actually performing better with mouse and keyboard and less input lag and stuff like that, or if the game is just more tailored for it. I guess we'll have to wait till like Halo 4 comes out on PC and see how that feels with, because obviously that game had some crazy movement as well. And then Halo 5 is a whole nother beast if they ever decide to bring that actual port to PC. But yeah, all in all, happy with the CEA flight. Game's gorgeous, like running on like 4K 60 frames. Absolutely stunning. Looks great. Being able to switch back and forth between the graphics of the old and the new. Even the old graphics, like with the upgraded resolution. It looks good, man. Like Halo 1's art style is so awesome.
Yeah, that was one of my favorite things about CEA in the campaign, is being able to swap between those different graphics. I actually saw, and I can't remember who it was on Twitter, I should remember, but they were saying that originally that feature was actually in there just to show that it was running on the same engine. And then someone was like, no, we have to ship that with the game. That's a really cool feature.
Yeah, so, in my opinion, every remaster, like for any game, should have that feature. That is such a cool feature, dude.
For sure, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if MCC could pull it off with 11 game engines, like, why the fuck can't Spyro, or Crash Bandicoot, like all those kind of remakes? Like, I'm still holding out hope for Majora's Mask remake in like Unreal Engine, and like to have that feature would be fucking sick. But yeah, I think we touched enough on the CEA flight. Let's get into you.
Oh,
whoa. Hey. Mr. Arrash, let's talk about you. Let's get to know you a little bit. Where did you start your beginnings with the Halo franchise? And then after that, I would like to talk about a video you did that really caught my attention. You guys should definitely go check it out. It's why Halo isn't Halo anymore, according to some people. And we're going to discuss that and see what you guys think in the comments too. And yes, I saw people asking in the comments section and chat. We will do the Q&A, as always, after the show, so hold on to your questions until after the show. But yeah, let's get to know you. Where'd you get your beginnings in Halo?
Yeah, I would say like my true beginnings in Halo was Halo 3. I had played Halo 2 a little bit before Halo 3 came out, kind of just with friends locally or playing through the campaign a little bit, but I had never really played on Halo online until Halo 3 came out. And when it came out, it blew my mind. There's so much you can do in it, between Forge and the really cool campaign and just all the different multiplayer modes. It was a totally different ball game than all the games I'd been playing up until that point. And I loved Halo 3. I put probably thousands of hours into it, and I've been hooked on Halo ever since. And my interest has ebbed and flowed as the games have come and gone. Because I remember when Halo Reach came out, like a few years after Halo 3, I played a lot of it when it came out, but it never really had the legs for me that Halo 3 did, because I played Halo 3 for years. I would still go back and play Halo 3 occasionally after Reach was out. And then when Halo 4 came out, I mean, I wasn't a huge fan of it, so I didn't play too much of it. But then then there was the Master Chief Collection, which is really cool now, but wasn't the best at launch. But Halo 5 really got me back into Halo, because even though it still had advanced movement and some of the changes, I just thought the game played great. I was really happy that they went back to equal starts, and the maps really focused on map control. And Halo 5's movement is a whole different ball game. But yeah, so I don't. And then now that Halo's coming to PC, I mean, it's in my home. Now I don't have to have an Xbox anymore. I can just play Halo exactly where I like to.
Yeah,
so I'm excited about
for
that.
A lot of gamers. Yeah.
And I've played a handful, or not a handful. I've played most of the different Halo mod type things that have been on PC to different levels, like Project Cartographer and Halo Online. And like we were talking, not too much custom edition, but
those are all pretty
SPV3
fun. Still,
yeah, I need to. The problem with all those is, as much as I love playing Halo Online, I haven't played it in a while. They can only do so much. They're not full-fledged developer-backed games, so you don't get the same type of support you do when Halo's on PC properly. So it's really exciting.
Yeah, that's why Infinite's probably going to be just such a big deal for people. It's built from the ground up by 343. Yep. It's not like a ragtag team at 343 with a couple other partners like MCC is right now. It's fully built by the 400 plus people at 343 to play on PC. So it's going to be interesting, man. I'm looking forward to seeing the PC. It's a good thing. Like, I'm not that much of a PC player. I literally built my first PC as soon as Halo was announced on PC, just because I was like, dude, I go where Halo goes, and why not play it in higher fidelity and just have my eyes bleed, and just get ready for Infinite, So I'm excited for that. As a console player my whole life, I'm still struggling with mouse and keyboard and getting adapted to that. But yeah, very interesting. I think, honestly, I'm not a big fan of Halo 3. I've been well documented in saying that. But I do respect it as the pinnacle of the series. And, dude, to this day, we still haven't got, Halo or any other game, in my opinion. We haven't got a full package like Halo 3 was. Great campaign. Great, Forge and custom games was just off the freaking hook when it came out, and for years and years afterwards. And then, the multiplayer. I had my problems with the multiplayer, but still, it was just king of Xbox Live for so long. Even duking it out with games like Modern Warfare 2. Yeah. So those were the good days, man. Go ahead.
I was going to say, that's when people debate what their favorite Halo game is, or what quote unquote the best Halo game is. That's what I always go to. You can prefer the gameplay in Halo 2 or Halo 4 or Halo 5 or Halo CE, but as a full package, and just in terms of being the king of just the landscape, Halo 3, it just was. Halo 3 was the pinnacle of Halo, even if you preferred playing other Halos. And I really hope that Halo Infinite is able to bring Halo back to that level. I remember when I was in high school and Halo 3 came out, And Halo 3 was like Fortnite is now. Like you and well, I'm not in high school now, so maybe I don't know. I might be disconnected. But when I was in high school, people would talk, even like the people who didn't play games. They would talk about how they were playing a Halo 3 game and something crazy happened. Whereas like now you hear kids and they talk about Fortnite or Minecraft, and that was Halo. And that's what I want to see again, man. Yeah. It would just be so cool to see Halo be on the top again.
It was the king of, like, games were referred to back in the day as the Halo killer, and nothing like ever killed it. You know, like you said, back in high school, when I was in high school, I remember, when Halo 3 came out, I was still on OG Xbox playing Halo 2. And, like, dude, half the class was missing. And my teacher's like, dude, where the hell is everybody? I was like, dude, Halo 3 came out today. He's like, I get it. He's like, all right. It was on the front page of my newspaper. My local newspaper was, like, showed the line, like, took pictures of people in the lines for Halo 3. It was the front page. Usually in my newspaper, people who got shot that day were freaking on the front page. Like, Halo took over. It was awesome. It is kind of funny, but it took over, man. And I long for those days where Halo was just, and it's a prime time for Halo to make its comeback, because, like I said, we haven't really, in the day of gaming that we're in now, with like microtransactions and EA and like incomplete products and day one patches, all that shit. It's like, you know, like, Halo could really make a big comeback if it launches the way the old Halos did. Like Zedgic there pointed out, like, you know, even don't forget working theater for campaign and multiplayer, something that Halo 5 still to this day doesn't have. If Infinite launches with Forge mode right at launch, custom games browsers, a great theater mode, maybe a firefight mode, something, you know, or Warzone 2.0, whatever it's going to be, Battle Royale, I don't care. And then multiplayer and a great campaign, great story. Like, holy crap, we could have a game that could last us another freaking 5 to 10 years, you know, and that would be awesome. I would love that. So definitely looking forward to Infinite. And let's get into some of your topics or your points from your video there about, you know, what makes Halo Halo. I want to let you kind of take the floor with that, and I'll kind of give my rebuttal and give my opinions on it.
Yeah. So yeah, basically, for the people who haven't seen the video, it's not very long, but the gist of the video is, a lot of times people, mostly about Halo 4 and 5, they kind of throw out the statement that those aren't Halo games. And it's a statement that's always irked me, because I can understand why you might not like Halo 4 or 5. They did change up the gameplay formula, but at the core, they are still Halo games. They're just Halo games that have taken influences from other things. And there's nothing wrong with changing your game. And it's the fact that they don't like the way that it's changed. So to diminish that, they say to the people who like that game, they say, well, that's not a Halo game. You're playing a Call of Duty clone. And that's always bothered me. And I don't know. What's your opinion on that?
I will say, this is probably going to irk you too. Halo 4 is the best Call of Duty game ever made. But I still enjoyed it. Like, to me, it's still a Halo game. As long as you slap Halo on the freaking cover and it feels like Halo when I'm shooting a battle rifle, which it did. Like, the gunplay still, Halo has a very distinct style. Like, even Destiny, you feel that Halo style, like, with the gunplay. You can't escape it. And to your point, like, it's just because they borrowed from other games or changed certain features, which other games did too. Call of Duty borrowed a bunch of crap from Halo. They borrowed the control scheme, borrowed regenning health. They borrowed the 2-weapon system. Like, Halo paved the way for a lot of stuff. And, you know, look at Zelda Breath of the Wild. Since I'm a big Zelda fan, I'll say that. That is completely different from every other Zelda game, maybe except for the first one, where you could, you know, start from the beginning, go wherever you want. But nobody's complaining about that not being a Zelda game, because it was, you know, they did a great job doing it. So, you know, it's all subjective. Everybody's got their own opinions. I personally still consider 4 and 5 to be Halo games, and I still stand by 5 being my second favorite Halo multiplayer to this day. And people give me shit for it all the time. You're not a real Halo fan. How could you? The original trilogy is the best. And when I say I don't like Halo 3 that much, people are like, oh my God, what is wrong with you? Halo 2 and Halo 5, and which I feel like somebody mentioned in chat too, like Halo 5 has some inspirations from Halo 2. Like Halo 5 to me feels like, okay, the natural evolution of Halo 2 like 10 years later. I could see that progressing into, from 2 to 5. Like, all right, yeah, it feels like Halo still, but we've added some new things to spice up the gameplay. Like, people who want classic gameplay, you might not really want it. Once you get it and you realize, like, dude, I played this same game like 15 years ago. What I want something new. You can't satisfy everybody. People are gonna be pissed. Classic gameplay, advanced movement, some new mechanics. People are gonna be pissed regardless. 343.
Yeah.
I don't envy their position.
No, they're in a terrible spot, honestly.
They are. They are
because they have switched up the gameplay, whereas now Halo 5 is a totally different beast than Halo 3 or Halo 2. Well, I mean, like you said, it is an evolution of it, but they still play very different. And so now you have people that they love Halo 5. They're newer Halo fans, or maybe they were Halo fans in the past, but now Halo 5 is their favorite game. But you also still have all the people sticking around or kind of hanging out on the outskirts that loved classic Halo. And so 343 is just in this crappy spot where they have to decide which way they want to take the franchise, and I think they just have to commit to it and ignore all the comments they get.
Now,
because
go ahead.
I was just gonna say, because if they pick classic Halo, all the fans of the advanced mobility Halo aren't going to be a fan of that. And alternatively, if they continue down the road of advanced mobility like they did in Halo 5, all those classic fans are going to say that they don't want to play it and they don't like it. So I think they just need to pick which direction they want to go and go with it. And what I really hope they don't do in Infinite is try to appease both groups at the same time, because I think that will be a recipe for failure. Because
that's interesting.
If they try and hit that weird middle ground, I mean, granted, me and you, we aren't there playtesting, so maybe it plays good, right? But in my mind, if they try and water down advanced mobility so that classic fans like it, I think you'll just end up with classic fans that are still mad that there's sprint or that there's a thruster pack. And on the other side, you're going to have all the Halo 5 guys that are like, yo, in Halo 5, I could do sweet things with my Spartan. I was a badass. And you won't, if they take out half that stuff, you won't be able to do it anymore. So it'll be, I don't know.
That's awesome that you mentioned that, because that's literally what I was going to say. I'm going to do the counter argument here, because one being, like you said, there's people out there that grew up with Halo 4 and 5. That is their first Halos. That's a whole generation of people that that's their exposure to Halo. You can't alienate those people because, you have a different taste in Halo. We're all one fucking community. We're all one big happy family. We're all Halo fans. There is a lot of toxicity in the Halo community, but I've seen so much more in every other gaming community. There's so much good that comes out of this community, which is why I love Halo so much. Very supportive, like small YouTubers, streamers like us, we reach out to each other, we help each other. I love that kind of interaction, like Call of Duty is just toxic, like games like that. Just go ahead.
Sorry.
No, go
ahead. My podcast noviceness is showing here.
No, you're good.
But even like the bigger YouTubers in the Halo scene, they're awesome, man. I've had Halo YouTubers that I follow that should have no clue who I am, who have reached out to me to say like, hey, if you do this, your videos will probably do a little better. Or if you switch up your thumbnail like this, it'll probably do a little better. And I didn't even ask them for help. They just reached out because they wanted to see people in the community do better. And I thought I think that's super cool. That's really not something you hear about in like Fortnite or something like that. You don't see the huge dudes in Fortnite sticking their hand down to try and help out a dude with 500 subs.
Right. Yeah, it's a dog eat dog world in that thing. But like in the Halo community, we all want to see each other succeed because that helps the game that we love succeed. Like it's an amazing community. I absolutely love it. But to offer a rebuttal on your appeasing both sides, that's exactly what I want them to do with Infinite, but in a different way. So hear me out. So with Infinite, and I think they did a really good job with this Halo 5 with Mythic Arena. So, have your classic movement, have your classic gameplay style, but make a game mode with player attributes and maps, more importantly, tailored to those attributes for that gameplay style. So if you want classic no sprint, make the maps, by 343, not like Forge maps. Make those maps, 10 maps, whatever. Because they've had 5 years to develop this game or more. They've been working on it for longer than 5 years. Tailor those maps to those gameplay attributes. And then for the advanced movement, you want to keep that. Tailor those maps to have clamber, thrust, and all that stuff. Widen out with sprint, all those kinds of things. I think Mythic Rumble did a great job, and that was fan made mostly by forgers and the community. And that's a perfect example of how to do it right. Mythic Rumble changed a lot of the base player traits from Halo 5, dumbed down the thruster a little bit. No sprint, you could keep hover, no clamber, none of that. But the maps were tailored for that. Had a lot of really cool, sweet jump spots, things like that. More small, compact maps. That's the kind of way you got to do it. Do not try to put a square peg in a round hole. Say, I think like every Halo game has tried that. As far as like the 4 and 5, where you try to go back with like a classic playlist and it never works. Like, Halo 3 anniversary playlist on Halo 5. It doesn't work because it just doesn't feel right with the hit detection, the magnetism of the bullets. It all doesn't fit with the map design and the player attributes. All that magnetism and the and stuff like that is because of the mobility of Halo 5, because players fly across your screen, so they give you a little extra compensation. Well, you shouldn't get extra compensation when you can't thrust and you can't sprint and things like that. It throws off the gameplay. So if you want to do it right, you got to tailor it specifically for each game mode. And I hope they do that, just because then they could, satisfy both fans. You want to do this, go do that. You want to play classic, go play classic. It could be the Halo game for everybody. But I don't know how big of an undertaking that is. That could probably be a huge undertaking. So it's probably not realistic. But I've been hoping for that for a long time.
That's the problem. Is I think out of the gate that would be hard to accomplish. I think to come out of the gate with almost two, like it would be the same game at the base level, but to have two different playlists and two different sets of maps that play totally different. I feel like that would be hard to do well straight out of the gate. But I do think if Halo 5 is anything to show, it's that 343 is going to continue to put out playlist updates over the years of Halo Infinite.
Yeah. So Halo 5 did a great job of that.
Yeah. Even if they roll out Halo Infinite and the default game is, we'll say, advanced mobility, there's no saying that 6 months or a month or a year down the line, they can't have a dedicated group of devs work on a playlist that plays like classic Halo with its own set of maps and its own different like base like player traits and stuff like that, like you were saying. And I think then maybe that would please people. But yeah, out of the gate that might be hard, but I have no doubt that they will attempt to do that in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it was unfortunate that Mythic Arena came out so late in Halo 5's like life cycle, and then overshadowed by the Reach launch. I honestly think it's the best damn playlist on Halo 5. Like, I haven't had that much fun on Halo 5 since like the launch of the game.
They rolled it out at a really weird time.
So stupid.
I don't understand why they rolled it out when they did. I'm sure. I almost wonder if it's just two totally separate teams, and it's the Halo 5 team saying, "Hey, we have this ready. Let's roll it out."
It is,
and then the MCC team, like, "Hey, well, we're putting Reach out." So
yeah, it is two totally different. Like, there's a Halo 5 sustain team, they call it, where it's just a few people that just do this kind of stuff. And like Blaze Dillon, he's a really cool guy who doesn't work at 343 anymore, but
he left.
Yeah. So like he did that kind of stuff. He was part of the sustain team, and that's their job, is to sustain. Obviously, the team for Infinite will be bigger at first as the years go by. That will dwindle down as they start to work on the next Halo title. But yeah, I think it could be a possibility. We'll see. Like you said, if anything, it could always come post launch, which they were great with Halo 5. Halo 5 wasn't the best at launch content-wise, but you cannot deny the fact that they supported that crap out of that game post-launch.
They did.
And
I do really hope that Infinite comes out of the gate more complete than 5 did.
It has to.
To this day, that is one of the reasons Halo 5 has had the issues that it's had. and it came out of the gate missing so many features. How do you roll out a Halo game with no big team battle? I mean, come on. I know they replaced it with Warzone, but that's not the same thing.
Right.
Then when Halo 5 came out, there was no social modes at all. Like, don't get me wrong, I love ranked, but
Yeah.
social is such a huge portion of the Halo community. There's people who love Halo and they've been playing Halo for years that will never touch a ranked game. They don't care about it. They just want to chill with their friends, play some Slayer, play some big team battle, and just hang out and play Halo. And rolling out a game that's missing all those features wasn't. I know they probably just ran out of time, but I think Halo Infinite really needs to hit the ground running, and then they can add more stuff on later. But
it needs to get the base stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Jinx, which is a perfect segue into our next topic, which would be the MCC and Halo 5 playlist update. So speaking of Mythic Arena, that's actually coming back for the March reset of the Arena season. So Mythic Arena is coming back. I can't wait to get in on some of that action. And right now, we actually have Griffball that came in for Community Slayer, and Action Sack will be coming in next week on Thursday for Griffball as part of the featured playlist for all you 152 grinders out there. That is double XP. Of course, the feature is always double XP. Mythic FFA is still live right now as double XP for ranked, and doubles is also double XP all month for February, if you guys were wondering. But also on MCC, they have the Black History Month event going on still. All you got to do is log into MCC during the month of February. Just log in. You don't even have to play a game. And you will get that title or the nameplate. And also, they rotated out, what was the last featured playlist on MCC? It was not Freeze Tag, but what was after that? I can't even remember right now.
On for Reach or for the MCC as a whole?
For Reach. It was a Reach place. I think it was it Anniversary? No, I think it was. It might have been Freeze
Tag. It went Anniversary and then Freeze Tag. That was the last one.
So now Shoddy Snipes is active, which is like across all the Halos, which is really cool.
Yeah.
And I think it's FFA as well. What's up?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I was just gonna say I need to go play more of that. Shoddy Snipes is has always been an extremely fun playlist.
Yeah,
but I haven't got to play too much of it yet in Reach.
Yeah, me either. And then that's really it as far as the playlist updates. They did mention something. I've talked about this a lot, but they're consolidating playlists on Halo 5. So they're trying to make match times and stuff be less strenuous, less time consuming. So they're consolidating playlists. That's including Warzone now. So I think they said something about consolidating Legendary and Heroic into one and leaving Mythic on there. They're combining two of the Warzone firefights into one, basically. So that's going to be taking place soon. So I'll keep you guys updated on that. I have to look up the details. But that's about it as far as the MCC and Halo 5 playlist updates, which brings us to the sad face, the end of the show. We will end the show here, and we're going to give the outros. So if you guys are wondering, all the links to Arrash's social media, his YouTube channel, his Twitter, his Twitch, all that will be linked down in the description of the podcast below, along with Kevin and mine, because we still have to include Kevin. But where can people find you in case they just don't want to click the links? Go ahead and tell them where they could find you on social media.
So my social media is a mess, and this is something I probably should fix. But
I noticed this. Yeah.
On Twitter, it's Arrash with 4 R's. On YouTube, it's Arrash with 3 R's. If you want to follow me on Instagram, where I post mostly pictures of my daughter and my dog, but it's _Arrash with 3 R's and then another underscore.
Oh my gosh.
my social media is a total mess. But yeah, if you check out my YouTube, I make a good amount of Halo content. Occasionally I like to check out other first person shooters just to keep things kind of fresh for me. And I always think that playing a wide range of games gives you more perspective on your main game. So I try and do that, but most of my videos are either gameplay type videos where I'll go in and try and play a new playlist or something like that. Or I do a lot of, if there's some topic I want to talk about, I'll just do a video on that over a Halo topic. So yeah, that's basically the gist of it. Go find me on those places and attempt to find me. You'll have to remember how many R's to search. So good luck.
Yeah, really underrated. Like I said, Halo YouTuber, guys, give him a follow. He's always streaming some Halo 2. Really entertaining streamer. He has the Patman seal of approval. So, in case you guys are new here, don't know who the hell I am, I don't blame you. I'm the Patman Gaming. You guys can find me on Twitter at the Patman Gaming. You can find me on Twitch, twitch.tv/the Patman Gaming, and on YouTube. Just type in Patman Gaming in your search, and I should pop up. Should be number 1 by now as far as all the other Patman Gamings go, all the other frauds out there. And then you guys can find me on Instagram as well. Same thing, the Patman Gaming. Kevin, you could find him at KevinKoolx Halo on Twitter, on Twitch at KevinKoolx. I think it's just KevinKoolx on Twitch. I'll put all his links down there. I always forget. He's got different names for stuff too. So just type in KevinKoolx and you should find that weird looking motherfucker. So anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed, even though Kevin wasn't here. I figured it'd be a good time to have a guest on. Been wanting to have Arrash on for a while. Stick around, you guys, in the chat for the Q&A afterwards. And all you YouTube and Spotify folk, thank you guys so much for listening or watching. And we will catch you guys on the next episode. Peace.
See ya.